blaze. The last thing they need was a grease fire, too. Many are criticizing the chief of the LA Fire Department for making inclusivity the top priority when hiring new recruits. True, you want inclusivity? Maybe include a chief who knows how to fight fires. Instead, they put identity before confidence. Because really, in California, who you sleep with, it shouldn't make you fire chief. Although, it can make you attorney general. Long walk, huh? ABC's David Muir is being mocked for using clothespins to cinch his jacket more tightly around his chest while reporting from the scene. He was also overheard asking a crew member, "Does this burning city make me look fat?" Let's only hope that the sock he puts in his crotch is flame retardant. Meanwhile, many critics say LA Mayor Karen Bass should have canceled her trip to Ghana before the fires broke out. I mean, if she wanted to go to a foreign land where no one speaks English, could have stayed in California. Even so, Bass called for unity during this crisis today. But there is unity, Karen. Everyone thinks you're a idiot. All right. Back on it. Look out, Tricky Dick. There's a new worst president in town. According to a new Gallup poll, Biden is the lowest rated of any president in the last 65 years, other than Nixon. But, to be fair to Nixon, compared to Biden's scandals, Watergate looks like a broken taillight. Now, when you rate Biden the worst since Nixon, you're saying he's the worst ever, because pollsters only ask about presidents that people have lived under going back to Kennedy. Unless you're some historian, you're only capable of rating presidents in your memory. Now, Biden himself doesn't even remember his own presidency. So the worst since Nixon is really the worst ever. And keep in mind, the public hates Biden, even with most of the press covering up his dementia for this whole term. And sure, they panicked and piled on him after that deadly debate, but they can't make us forget how many times they lied for him. Hell, they're still doing it, even when he does stuff like this.
It's astounding what's happening. There's only one piece of good news. My son lives out here in his place. They got a notification yesterday their home is probably burning down. Today, it appears that maybe still standing, they're not sure. But the good news is, I'm a great-grandfather as of today.
Way to read the room, you callous corpse. Sorry your city's burning, but I brought cigars. Anyone got a match? Oh, you're gonna be a great granddaddy. What a clown. I guess we can be grateful he didn't ask Jimmy Carter to stand up at the eulogy. So where was the media before all this when it was obvious Biden was 25th Amendment material? Let's turn to Iraqi war vet, Purple Heart recipient Brian Williams, who said nothing, yet calls people out for saying nothing. On the media's coverage of Joe, he told the Washington Post, quote, "It's actually insulting, a gross disservice to those watching and listening, because it doesn't match what they just saw or heard for themselves." Funny, that sounds like he's talking about every broadcast he did for NBC Nightly News. Quote, "It was crushing to watch so many working journalists attempt to generate the words to accurately describe a visibly struggling and diminished president, seemingly unable to complete a sentence or thought in his disastrous final debate." Oh, that was the problem? They couldn't find the right words? Well, here's a few that come to mind. How about decrepit, demented, confused, obtuse, and bat crazy? But I guess Brian doesn't need a war zone anymore to pretend to be brave. He once bragged that his helicopter got shot down in war-torn Iraq, which was the biggest lie since Hillary claimed she took sniper fire in Bosnia. Turns out it was the Red Cross shooting donuts at her from a T-shirt cannon. She caught him with her mouth. It was amazing. And Brian could have spoken up at any point in the past 4 years. Why didn't he? It's the same reason the rest of them didn't speak up. They all knew Biden's brain was rancid applesauce, but they also knew if they said anything, their peers wouldn't like them. The truth took a backseat quicker than me and Larry Kudlow at a drive-in movie. He's all hands. They told the biggest lie in the history of presidential politics. Joe Biden is fit to serve. Yeah, to serve what? Carrots to his imaginary pet bunny? But they parroted these lies because they were cowards, all of them. And Hollywood was no better. Comedians suffered the same weakness, claiming they were pressured to stay in line. Here's Jim Gaffigan admitting that people told him not to criticize Joe or Harris.
What I felt was interesting about this election is, and maybe because it was so important, and maybe because it was such a short election for Kamala, that people were like, don't criticize her. And I'm like, that's actually bad to have that approach.
Yeah.
And I think hindsight, a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
Well, they call it hindsight for a reason, because that's what you see when you're kissing ass. Here's the suddenly brave Whitney Cummings.
It's just wild to me that we are in a time where if you are on the left and you don't criticize your party, how much do you even care about your party? Do you know what I mean? It's like what's going on the left. I finally just broke. I just think that if you love your party, you have to criticize it, you know?
Wow. The question is who pressures them to stay in line? Did either comic have a boss who might fire them? No, they stayed in line because their agents, managers, and their own wallets told them to. And also their peers. They were scared of upsetting people they wanted to impress. What if they ran into Seth Rogen at Whole Foods? Or Chelsea Handler at the free clinic? Or Leo DiCaprio at their daughter's high school graduation? Meanwhile, comics with real guts for the past 4 years, well, they were on this show or writing for it behind the scenes. They said what they thought and they shared the risk. They told the truth about what they saw and they lost work for it. Nick DiPaolo says he's been canceled more times than a Chris Christie gym membership. They lost jobs and they lost friends. I hear Joe Mackey couldn't get laid this entire time. As well as before or after. Fortunately, this show helped them pack halls and clubs, and now suddenly everyone else agrees with them and us, without ever admitting we were right, of course. But hey, it only ended up costing them an election and the public's goodwill. Better luck next time, guys. Maybe then you'll have grown some balls. Let's welcome tonight's guest. She owns a timeshare in It's a Small World. Co-host of America's Newsroom and the Vibe, Dana Burrito. His ex-wife is like a California wildfire because she took everything from him, too. Actor, comedian, and writer Jamie Lizzow. She's narrowed her baby names down to 2 names, Ron and Paul. New York Times bestselling author and Fox News contributor Kat Tim. He gives liberals the blues and has a hard time buying shoes. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NWA world champion Tyrus. So, Dana, I love this poll. Joe is now the worst president ever. But what if he had won? They probably would have him as the best president ever. Now it's okay. Apparently now it's all okay to say what was on everybody's mind because there's no risk involved.
You gotta imagine that the people at the Richard Nixon Library are like, finally.
Yeah.
Because they've been stalwart ever since you've been out there. They're like, actually, this is all the things that happened in this presidency. I think that most presidents do go up in ratings after they leave office. I do not think that's going to happen with Joe Biden because more and more you find out, wait, and that too, and that too, and the lying about him running circles around them behind the scenes at the White House. And what I'm really wondering is with an approval rating like this, what are the book deals that his senior staff are going to get? You know, who's going to be who's going to be the one? There's always one.
Who breaks the seal?
Yes, always one. Who's it going to be?
Yeah, they're not gonna ask Joe to write a book. Can you imagine that? Whoa. Palm print, ink, palm print, page turn, ink, palm print. Jamie, you never wavered from going after those in power, including your ex-wife. How do you feel when you see other comics who shied away from that material who now are speaking truth to power?
I have mixed emotions because I am happy that I feel like they're finally maybe being honest, telling the truth. But you know, there's so many of them that are grifters and just sort of going where the money is and that's a little infuriating. But it's good to have been on board since the beginning. And in your monologue, you said like some people's managers and agents like told them not to do certain things and not. I thankfully have a manager who's never told me what to do. He doesn't answer my calls, and I lost friends. I got divorced from being on the show. It was also because she was in love with another man pretty young. Pretty slow. Yeah, it's all kind of related. And real quick on that video, Biden looked like he just found out he was the best man at a wedding 10 seconds before he had to give a speech. He was so unprepared. And I think he thinks great grandfather means like a really good grandfather.
Yeah, tell that to the stripper baby.
Yeah, and I think he likes having the word. You're forced to have the word. He's not used to having the word "great" in front of his name, right?
Yeah.
So he probably likes that. You gotta say it. It's part of it.
Yeah, it is. You know, Kat, I don't think he can outlive. We're not going to outlive much, but his reputation as being having to leave under this cloud of like mental, I don't know, deficiency. Or do you want to talk about comics?
Yeah, I could talk about comics. With him, it's like, what does he have to lose at this point? He should have just started showing pictures of the great-grandkid. You know what I mean? Like, why does he care? Yeah, I would like to talk about it because I think that, I've also experienced it, and I think it's interesting because I'm not even on either major party, but I work at Fox. So that's all that it takes. I straight up had theaters tell me, you cannot have your show here. I've straight up had people say, I really like you, but I can't have you on my podcast because you work at Fox, and what would people say? And it is really frustrating, but I'm very proud to say that my actual shows, I've had both conservatives and liberals get so offended at a joke that they walked out.
Yeah.
And that makes me really, because I'm doing something right if it's not just one side that's been walking out of my shows. And I like Whitney Cummings. I like when she spoke about it, she got into more detail. She was doing a little bit of self-examination, and she was talking a little bit more about it. She was saying that about herself. She was like, I don't feel like I'm on either side. I have made fun of Trump. And the fact that just that I made fun of Democrats, everyone's saying, oh, now I'm red pill, now I'm this. It's like, no, everyone should be able to just make fun of everybody, and you don't have to just be put into a box because you have one opinion. I think that I would love to see us move away from that, where we can kind of speak for ourselves. But I think it's actually awesome to have them actually admit out loud, I was being told I can't make fun of her. Because how embarrassing is that for Kamala?
Yeah.
Too, like, and you still lost.
Yeah, you know, Tyrus, it might upset you. You may be passive because you took a big risk at Fox and speaking honestly about your beliefs because you're not supposed to do that.
There wasn't a lot of other black comics on your little picture, was there?
There weren't a lot of other women either.
Well, there's a reason for
And
that.
I have a different answer.
Yeah.
Them all.
I disagree.
No, because here's why. This wasn't I was told to do. No. You were a willing participant.
Yes.
You jumped in. You took advantage. You took movie deals from guys who were more talented than you. My Hollywood career was ripped from me. I went from, oh, this dude's funny. He's out the box. He's way different than a big guy, blah, blah, blah. I was on Preacher. I was on like 5 other shows, Love on Netflix, the wrestling thing on, all that gone. Because I chose to be here. And I have this weird thing when you tell me not to do something, I get inspired and be like, watch, I'll build my own, and I did. So when I hear them sit there, at least own it. Have the balls to say, yeah, you know what? I picked the wrong side, and now the money's drying up. So now I'm gonna make her, but you went out of your way. It wasn't just you told some jokes and chose not to, because we all choose certain things not to make jokes about. I don't make jokes about, having a lot of kids with different women. I choose not to go that route. That's my choice. They were willing to do it, and now all of a sudden they're starting to see. This is what the left always does to people who live with the left. They want to do it, and then when the consequences are coming out, all of a sudden, wasn't my fault. I was forced. I was an innocent victim. No, you took the checks. You told your manager. Not only would you do it at a high level. Ricky Gervais called it. He said it perfect. He said if ISIS would start a movie company, you would call your agents and tell them to call them to see if you can get work. So when you see them sitting there now, and even what's his name, the one who talks like this, he was like, it was so important. You're missing it was so important for them to help influence an election. That's why they did it. It was so important. So when I see them, I'm like, I'm a millionaire now because of my stand-up show. So kiss my ass.
All right. She couldn't even blink her lashes while her city turned to ashes. Coming your way. Hey, hey. It's video of the day. The flames raged violently while she stood silently. There was smoke in the air, but she had a blank stare. As LA burned to a cinder, Mayor Karen Bass put the gone in Ghana. For the president's inauguration, a Sky News reporter confronted her about it when she finally got back, and Karen had a ton to say.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster? No apology for them? Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana when this was unfolding back home?
Karen ain't Sharon. You know when they say if you have nothing to say, nothing good to say, don't say anything at all? They meant that about other people, not yourself. But now we know why she kept her mouth shut. It's worse when she speaks.
Be prepared, food, water, medicine, a bag packed and ready. Again, this is an active situation. If you need help, emergency information, resources, and shelter is available. All of this can be found at URL.
All can be found at URL. Well, if that doesn't work, just try calling phone number. Shame.
She doesn't know what the internet is.
She doesn't know what the internet is.
She's never been online.
She's never been
Like, have you guys been on the line, online? Oh, it's rough. That's rough.
Her not answering, just standing there, she could have just said, I feel terrible for people.
Yes, and also the report should have been like, am I bothering you?
Yeah.
People forget. All those people who their homes burned down, all those people back there, those people are her boss. She works for them, not the other way around. Mm-hmm. The amount of taxes these people pay is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely insane. And you think that the bare minimum they could get is like some water to put out their house as it burns to the ground.
Yeah.
And then if you can't do that, can you at least say, I'm sorry, I up?
Yeah.
And the fact that she thought it was acceptable, they need to be reminded for some reason, these people, that they actually, the citizens that vote for them, that's your boss.
Right.
You're supposed to work for the people. I get that it's a tough day for you because people are mad at you. Mm-hmm. But it's a really tough day for people who just lost everything.
Mm-hmm. She can't say she's sorry.
No, but Californians might need to look in the mirror and say, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. That's what you voted in. That's
Over Caruso.
yeah.
Caruso who had solutions.
Because that's all, but she was sitting there frozen trying to figure out who she could blame, because she has a lot in common with the Lori Lightfoots in Chicago. Chicago figured it out, but then they just made the same mistake again twice. New Orleans, the same thing. They hire these pretty little boxes, and using the word pretty is something else. But they hire these little boxes that are all checked, and everybody's virtue signaling. And you've got this person in there, it's the first, and it's diverse. And then something goes wrong, and they go, they're stupid. They panic. You have a fight or flight mentality in leadership. Doesn't mean you run through buildings, but when the buildings are burning down, the politician's supposed to be the one to say, hey, it's gonna be okay. I've got people in place to do this. We're going to do that. We're doing this. And you shouldn't need a script to protect the state that you run from. Then there's the other person who's only there to be the hood ornament on that piece of virtue signaling DEI car they're driving. And what you saw was a hood ornament.
Yeah.
Exactly like one.
And it brings me to an analogy, Jamie. Can I share it with you?
I love analogies.
All right. So when you see an overweight person who's just lost a lot of weight these days, you ask them, "Oh, I exercise," but in your head you're going, "No, Ozempic." You're right. That's what DEI is now for people in specific ethnic or identity groups. How do they get there? Oh, worked hard. Nah, DEI. What do you say?
Yeah, watching that first interview, this woman, she looked like Joy Behar at the salad bar. I mean, just super confused and wanting no part of it. And, isn't it kind of weird? By the way, the first clip was from LAX, LAX airport, which it's a nightmare just landing at LAX, let alone having someone pepper you with questions. And the flight from Ghana is 17 and a half hours long. Was there not one moment where she was like, I wonder if they'll ask me about those fires when I land?
Yeah. Yeah, what did she do?
17 and a half hours. You could watch Dune 2 4 times or one Judd Apatow movie and still have plenty of time to prepare for that question.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
What was she doing on the plane?
What was she doing on the plane?
Well, what she got? I'm gonna ask that question tomorrow to one of our reporters.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be that kid, Matt Finn.
She said she was online, texting and being on the phone
Yes.
from that. I don't believe that. Well,
Yeah, we
maybe
proved that by the press conference. She said URL.
URL.
Yeah.
Not on the internet.
I was going to say the happiest person right now in America is Brandon Johnson, because he's like, wow, nobody remembered that I was the worst mayor in America. We had another speechless press conference from the mayor in New Orleans. Like, there is a pattern and a crisis of incompetence, as you mentioned on the 5, and you're surrounded by people who ran for office or selected to run for office for what? Like, if you are going into public service, presumably you want to help solve problems.
Yeah.
And all these people want to do is say, I don't know. And also, if you are running for mayor in America in this year, just say, one of the things you must say is, I pledge I will not go on a single foreign trip while I am your mayor. And it will help.
Yes.
Ask Eric Adams.
Yeah. And don't blame us if we are suspicious of DEI. You guys were bragging about it. Hey, look what we did. First this, first that. Now we said it in our head. But he put it there. Up next, Adam Carolla joins us. Don't go away. Democrats are defending Karen Bass for not being in her burning city, because how did she predict these wildfires? After all, she's not a psychic, or Donald Trump, or Joe Rogan, or Adam Carolla. All three have been talking about the California fire risk and forest mismanagement for years. And we got one of those psychics with us right now, joining us from Vegas, Mr. Adam Carolla. All right. I gotta ask you, Adam, is your house gone or not?
I'm not sure exactly, because I do know almost everything around my house is gone, but I'm not positive my house is still there because they won't let us back into the area to observe. There's little drips and drabs of information, and I'm hopeful that my house is there, but literally everything in front of it and beside it is burnt completely. And I don't know if people know that stretch of PCH, but it is littered with $25 million houses, and they're all gone as far as the eye can see.
How do you feel about the fact that you see these bureaucrats, this managerial class, acting like they didn't see this coming when you were talking about it, and Rogan was talking about it, and Trump was talking about it?
Well, I mean, it's the new world order. You know, they want to defund the police, but they never saw this coming. They want to declare they're a sanctuary city, but they never saw this coming. They want to raise the difference between, you know, felon and a misdemeanor to $995 worth of merchandise, but they never saw this coming. You should see this stuff coming. When you don't see, we're going to open the border, but who could have seen this coming?
Yeah, it's incredible, and you said it best. I think it was this morning that you have a group of people offering practical solutions, but then you have these people, Democrats, that are offering these platitudes. They never give you. They'll talk about climate change, but there's absolutely no practical solution for the immediate issues you're facing.
Well, it's interesting because they've been talking about the ocean sea levels rising for 50 years along with climate change, but the sea isn't rising fast enough to put out the fires that they started through mismanagement.
Yeah. And also, it's like, okay, if you're going to get rid of fossil fuels, what is that going to do about the power lines on these big wooden poles that may have led to the fire? So that has nothing to do with it.
Well, it's really like the fires are started by homeless people who are up in the hills slamming drugs and being, you know, passing out while smoking, and power lines that should have been buried years ago that are on old decrepit power poles that are falling over and starting the fire. But either way, those are both two landing squarely on their laps. But here's something to think about, Greg, because I know you like thinking. They're always talking about the homeless population and the unhoused population, and I've been screaming, we're talking about junkies, and we're talking about sociopaths, psychopaths, nut jobs, schizophrenic. They live on the street. Junkies live on the street, not homeless or the unhoused. Well, think about this. I am now homeless. Everybody in Malibu is homeless. Everyone in the Palisades homeless. Everyone in Santa Monica who's been told to leave either is not in their home or their home is burnt to the ground. So you have a whole bunch of homeless people now. Anybody sleeping on the streets? Anyone sleeping under a freeway overpass or in a refrigerator box on the sidewalk? No. They all went somewhere because they all have a network, because they're not junkies and they're not mental cases. So they reached out to their network, friends, family, community. I had a ton of people say to me, would you like to stay in my home? Because the last time I was there, I didn't steal all their jewelry and all the prescription medication.
It's we gotta go, but that is such a great point, because we are fed this fantasy that the homeless are just like us, that it wasn't a lifestyle choice. No, they are homeless because they cut themselves off from everybody. They could be mentally ill, but could also be drug addicted, could be a mix of both, but you can't do anything for them. All right, Adam, we gotta go. Best of luck. I hope that you get, well, you're always on your feet, but back on your feet in a nice place that is warm and cozy, but not too warm. Thank you, Adam. Coming up, his reporting is hard-hitting, but only if his coat is form-fitting. We got another clip for you. It's video of the Hey The mannequin with the arrogant grin gets hung out to dry by a clothespin. It's true, when a fire is destroying people's lives, David Muir still needs to be a smoke show. Our second video of the day comes from ABC News anchor David Muir. While reporting on the California wildfires, viewers noticed he appeared to be using clothespins to make his jacket look tailored. Watch.
We are in what's called Palisades Village right here. This is the town center of sorts where there's normally shopping, a place to eat. Tonight, as you can see here behind me, it's been completely wiped away. There are still flames burning from multiple buildings here and smoke rising from the ash.
Well, like he'd use clothespins to make himself appear smarter. I mean, only an idiot would bring wooden clothespins to a fire. But in fact, you can see the same thing when Nancy Pelosi turns her head. But it seems like Muir is no different than many of the fire hydrants in LA, shiny on the outside, empty on the inside. Jamie, are we being too hard on this Ken doll?
I don't judge him. I'm wearing a clothespin in the back of my pants right now. But the thing is, but you can't see it, Greg. You gotta be. In the original story, I feel like an idiot. It kept calling it a clothes peg. In all the stories I found, I was like, what? That must be a clothespin? And so I was like, what does that mean? And I Googled male anchor peg, and the craziest came up my computer. The craziest stuff. I can't believe someone had a, what, you stopped by in 1980 to get a clothespin? Can we stop sending these guys to the fighters? Can we just have them show pictures?
Yeah.
It's like we don't need to anymore. You know, like you watch a report and then it's windy and you're not like, oh, I don't believe you unless the guy hanging sideways from a pole. Like, oh, now I believe you. I'm not worried about it. But did you hear that there's a real, they actually put forth a pretty good reason why he won the clothespin, that it wasn't his fault. They say a producer thought he looked bad.
Carter, Jamie almost makes a good point there, that a lot of times these reporters make it about themselves.
No.
I know, shocking.
You know, it's funny though, it's like, it made it worse because he looks like he had a fireman's blouse on. Because if you go back, he pinned back the thing, but then it gave him the puffy, his little arms aren't big enough. So he like had a fancy pirate shirt on as a firefighter. This dude is so fake. Like, it was bad enough he was lying during the debate.
Yeah.
He was making up that wasn't there. But now, you know that some poor intern was sent during a fire to go find something to pin his jacket back so his pectorials will look just right. Because the information he's giving people, because there's nothing worse than getting information from somebody who's not in great shape.
Yes.
Like when you're watching the news, you don't want Flab City. You want, I mean, the only thing he didn't do is like the only thing that's hotter than this fire is these abs. They had them spray painted and highlighted on them. This is one of the worst human beings in the world. So into himself, he's a horrible person.
What? Wait.
Everyone's going so hard on him, and so many of the people going in on him so hard are people who are on TV. All of us are okay? Like, I am where, yeah, I'm not at the good for you, but most of us do. I am not at the wildfire, but I'm talking about the wildfire. I have a lot of makeup on. I have a lot of fake hair on. I see a lot of people, there's people out there listening to the wild hits, but they're at the wildfires with makeup on. Are they bad people too? It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to be like, yeah, I want people to know that I have a nice waistline while I'm in this wasteland. That's embarrassing. But it's like, he's not a horrible person. He's just a TV guy.
He's a horrible person because he is a TV guy.
Probably true, but also because people would on him if his jacket was too big too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my clothes don't fit me anymore, and I just still wear them, and I get very angry emails about that. So like, it's the only thing that'd be different is if like he brought the clothespins with him, like on the way, like before he boarded the plane, was like, hold on, those fire jackets might not.
Yeah, I hate
maybe, but like he's on TV. I just think people. There's been so.
I think it's a light, funny segment in a really dour, depressing thing. And also, when we look at our guys, there's no one better looking than Matt Finn.
Yeah.
And he puts a mask on. And he wears that. You can't even recognize him. He went from a 10 to a 3.
That's right. He has his mask on, and he's not vain about it. But I do also want to just point out, this is not a funny point. I just would say that our guys like William Lajeunesse and Jonathan Hunt and their camera people, were actually, the camera guys were filming the neighborhood that they lived in.
Yeah.
And being destroyed. And they worked for 48 hours straight. They had to go back out there. Their schools are destroyed and everything. So for those who are having to cover the story of their own demise, hats off.
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough.
I guess I just can't be outraged about it.
You know
I
what?
tried really hard. I know it's not a popular take.
We have a class
I
later
tried
on
to
how
be
to get
outraged.
outraged.
I couldn't get
Not
outraged.
about being outraged. It's like he's the same thing with Anderson Cooper when he was hopped into 2 feet of water and got on his knees. It's these fake ass journalists that are just tell the story. No one cares what you look like. People's lives are ruined, and you had to stop to make yourself look slim. That's the issue.
All right, we must move on.
Do care what you look like.
Up next, America saw it live when 44 laughed with 45.
A story in 5 words.
5 words. Obama and Trump say what? Tyrus, Trump and Obama sat next to each other at Jimmy Carter's funeral. They appear to have buried the hatchet. What do you think they were saying?
Oh, I know what they were saying. Hey, two-term guy. What's up, two-term guy? How are you doing? I don't know, just doing my two-term thing. And Biden was in the front, and Kamala was in the... And, oh, hey, I'm sorry, no term and 1 term.
It's so funny. Dana, and meanwhile, you have Hillary, no term. Sitting there, and she's just away from her 2-term Trump.
Hey, but she got that civilian award last week.
Yeah, the
Medal of Freedom.
Yeah.
That's the prize. What you got?
She got the Medal of Freedom, but Bill got the Medal of Honor and Offer. Oh! I just came up with that. Pretty good, huh? It just popped into my head, Kat.
That's why you're sitting over there.
Kat, did you like the dynamics of this whole
I
thing?
think what I took from this is even Obama knows Trump is funny.
Yeah. And he's so happy to sit next to him. He's like, oh, thank God I'm not next to Doug. Hi, Doug. Hey, Barack, I want to talk to you about golf. Shut up, Doug. Doug. Do you know any good Dougs? Do you know any good Dougs?
No.
I don't know a single...
They were just sitting in the winner's section.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the winning section.
I have so many bad Dougs running through my mind, actually.
Yeah, I can't
Doug
think of it.
quarterback.
Doug who?
He's Brett Ray's producer.
Oh.
Well, he goes by Doug because he knows if he went by Douglas, everyone would hate him.
Douglas. Jamie, save me from my lost hole.
They just before this show came on, they released what Trump said. Trump goes, hey, we'll finish this conversation at Joe's funeral next week.
Michelle wasn't there. Did you notice that? That was strange, huh? You know who else wasn't there? Big Mike.
Yeah.
That's my personal trainer. He wasn't invited, though.
I guess Joe went up and he goes, hey, the good news is I'm a great-grandfather.
All right. We'll be right back. Dana Burrito, Jamie Lissow, Tim Tyrus, our studio artist. Fox News at 9 is next. I'm Greg Guff. I love you, America. Stay strong, California. Good.
Show me some of yours.
Yeah, sure. Here you go.
I got home from work the other day, and when he walked through the door, I was like, what do you mean it's already 4:30? It was just 9 a.m. And then I realized I didn't eat lunch. But I remembered that I had just stocked up on Healthy Choice Simply Steamers. This grilled chicken.
Welcome back to the second channel. Oh, we're getting chilly out. Oh, it's chilly out. I have my homeless man jacket on. And, you know, thank you guys so much for the little love on the break. We do appreciate it. It feels nice to have some breathing room from the main channel, but I still have some stuff on the second channel that I just got to let you know about. One is AI-generated art. It's a machine learning and deep learning algorithm that are used to generate art, aka soulless creatures, man-made objects who do art better than us. It's like Event Horizon and fucking Terminator came together, you know, and it's like this portal through hell. It's fucking crazy, man. Whenever you type in anything, I mean, it sends you into this, like a soulless realm of just debauchery of these landscapes that are just terrible. And I had to share it with you today. But right after this sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. In today's landscape, you're never too sure who's around the corner and collecting your data. But there's a way to protect your data from those pesky intruders with Surfshark VPN. Surfshark is a modern VPN service that's easy to use and is jam-packed with security features to keep your information safe. When activated, Surfshark encrypts all the data sent via the internet, protecting your passwords, private messages, photos, videos, and other sensitive data from prying eyes. What you looking at over there? With over 3,200 servers in 65 countries, you'll be able to connect to a server wherever you are. And you can install Surfshark on an unlimited number of devices off one subscription. Surfshark was also voted Editor's Choice for PCMag.com's VPN service of 2022. For limited time, get 83% off, a 2-year plan plus 3 extra months for free at surfshark.deals/MeCanyon. This special offer makes your subscription just $2.21 per month. You're welcome. Best of all, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not satisfied, you can cancel anytime. Hey, swim on out of there if you want to, but you won't. So go to surfshark.deals/MeCanyon and use code MeCanyon to protect your online privacy today. Back to the video. So I just had to show you this art because the biggest question today I want to pose, because we all know that the AI is going to take over the world and kill us all. We're fucked. But really, what is humanity? It's culture, it's experience, it's life, it's empathy for the fellow man who's gonna die after you, that died before you. You know? That's machines don't understand. But the real question I want to ask is, will AI take over traditional art? And with these generators, it seems like it's just on course. So let's go. ArtAIGallery.com. This just shows you some of the. Shows you a bunch of AI generated art, some abstract art. Which, if you would have told me that this is AI, I would have been like, what? I went to an art school, and this looks like about 90% of the painter's body of work senior year. So there it is. Let's see. What about architecture? The scary thing about even the architecture of some of these is there's like a human touch. Well, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this kind of. That's not gonna work, machine. Sorry. Ooh, surreal. Oh my god, this is so sweet. It feels so, it all feels like it has human touch. That's the scariest thing. Like, I don't even know what the fuck this is. It's gorgeous. I love it. There's the website called dreamapp.wombo.art. So if you want to fuck around with this, feel free. So I'm going to start off with, let me remove this first. I'm going to start off and I'm going to throw it a bit of a curveball. So I'm going to type in cheeseburger, penis. And now we wait. Oh my god. Holy hell. It's weird watching it form. Creating. Oh my god. What the fuck even is this? Well, I am disappointed. There's not a lot of whole penis aspect, but the whole entrails, like the intestines here, are so freaking. I love it. I almost said freaking sweet. So now I have to go back and I need to type in Peter Griffin. I want a steampunk Peter Griffin. He's kind of bulbous and round like Peter. I would be happy with this if somebody said this is a steampunk Peter Griffin.
Hey Lois, this is crazier than the time I got turned into a steampunk NFT.
Ooh, actually speaking of that, what would be an NFT? An NFT with no art style. Let's go. Wrap your head around this one, computer. Go on, do it! That's a big fucking miss, computer.
You are creative, right? You always knew that you would love to work in movies.
What a fucking, what a terrible one. Mint as NFT coming soon, for fuck's sake. I'm gonna do Prolapse Anal Cave. Prolapse Anal Cave, that's gotta be sweet. Oh! Oh my god. Oh my god. Just watching this get created is fucking horrible. Holy shit. And just like that, it's just, it's the best thing. It's so fucking gross. Put some hikers, like some hikers, they're like walking around the cave and stuff, they're sitting there and they're just like, oh my god, is someone there? Hello! Oh my god, Billy, I don't think we're the only ones alone in here. What is this place? What is it? Why does it smell so bad? That is fucking horrible. What the fuck is this? I don't know if you've ever been to do this. I have a dog, as you saw in the last video, his name is Tugboat, he's a good boy. But his ass glands, they smell bad, so you actually have to pop them. Or you go to the vet and they pop them, it's just this whole weird thing. But it smells like fish food, it's fucking disgusting. And it looks just like that, I swear to God. I'm just saying, that's medical. All right? I'm just saying, the accuracy is there. It kind of looks like an Arby's, like, roast beef. Ew. Is that a woman's vagina? Next one. What do I want to do next? I'm going to throw in some fun, flavorful words, like if a child was doing this. Smelly Amogus Markiplier.
Foolish mortal, you think that I cannot make smelly Amogus Markiplier. How crazy.
Oh, shit! What is it? Oh god, it's so good. This fucked eye. That is amazing. Man, the thing too is I don't know what is around him. At first I thought it was potato chips, but I'm pretty sure it's hair. It's hair, or it's like super zoomed in on like a bee, like a honeycomb or something is also what it looks like. And you just have little bits of his hair, right? But that smile with whatever the fuck that pink is so good. I'm gonna type in, I like Papa John's pizza. Papa John doesn't say the N-word. This is the reality I wish I lived in. Oh my god, is that a tiny Papa John up there? Oh, I was distorted for a second. What are these things? There's a beauty to this surrealism that this is actually making me depressed. I wish that I could make this kind of art. I love the tiny Papa John here, the disgrace. Ooh, actually, you know what the Wombo art might be saying is that this is what the wolf looks like if he never said it. Ooh. I feel like I have to face off against this beast. Can humans still take over? Can I get a more visceral reaction out of you, the viewer, against this computer? Is that something that I can do? Can I accomplish this task? I'll think of a prompt. I got to think of something to where I have to type it in, and it has to be exactly what I'm thinking that I'm going to draw, so it's equal. Okay, we can't do toe jam sprinkles and have me fucking make something like this, because I can't. Who do I want to do? Who should I compete against the algorithm with? Trying to think. Who? You know what I'm gonna do? We'll do Corey. We'll do Corey X Kitchen. So I'm gonna do no style, I'm gonna do create, and then I'm gonna hide this window. Now I'm gonna see what it does, and I'm gonna draw mine first, and then we'll compare it. Hunter Hancock has to face against a robot. Corey, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to lay into you a bit. I don't wanna have to do it, but I'm gonna have to beat this AI. Okay, I gotta do this quick. Come on now, baby, come on. Already, this is not. Doesn't feel like fuck. Okay, come on. Don't tell the computer. It's still processing. Yay! Smash that like, samurai. Even if I lose, I'm enjoying the hell out of this. This is great. I love it. I'm gonna make his next to come down like this. He's gonna be fucking strangled by that puka shell necklace. There's a little throw here, and he has his headset. Let me work the lines on this to see if this feels right. If not, I might have to bow defeat to the AI. I might have to immediately give up. You know what what the fuck is this? So in my theory here is he's just this like humanoid that consumes media and games, and this is the part of him we don't get to see. This is him whenever he takes off his outfit, his hoodies, and all that kind of stuff. That's what we get to see here. You know what? No, I don't even need an explanation. This is what I'm drawing. Fuck you guys. I'm sorry, Corey. I'm sorry. Corey, just know that I didn't want it to end like this. It's for the challenge. Alright. So, this is mine. No, listen, I'm not saying that it's good. I'm just saying that does it get a more emotional response over what the computer did? You know? Alright, this is mine. Let's see what the AI came up with. No contest. The fucking thing won. He included, it looks like samurai gi, I'm pretty sure. It looks like blood, the face, and he has even the hair and everything. He went, yeah, he went. This is a clear direction. AI is coming for us. If you're an artist, just give up now. There's no point. It's done. It's all done. We lost. It's true. It's truly done. I'll put a link to the AI generated thing. It's a lot of fun. Just off this, you can make some art, send it to your friends. It's fucking weird. I don't know. Also, be sure to post some shit to my subreddit. It's awesome. It's right there. You know, look at some of this art. Ooh. Oh my! Wow. Oh no! And then also, if you want to support me, check out my Patreon. You get a monthly sticker. It's cool. And also, be sure to check out my podcast channel with the Flash Kids guys, Cream Crew. If you want more content. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you liked it. These websites are fucking weird, but thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much. You all have a fantastic day. I'll see you next week.
Since the 60s, we've been making the equipment that builds